So you and I were both at the Canadian Energy Executive Association conference in Banff at the end of August, where you spoke and you got great accolades, I will let you know. You mentioned the possibility of resurrecting the Keystone pipeline depending on who gets elected in the US. So this has been a very contentious project, we all know. So who do you think would pay for it due to the risk of it? You know, do you see a private company funding it, or do you think government has to fund it?
Well, look, I mean, I was pretty excited to see that Hal Quisley has taken over the TC Energy assets on oil, and I think he's pretty bullish on trying to find a way to do the kind of things that we're talking about. And I think we have to be realistic. If we end up with a Republican in the White House, I think that we end up with the Keystone permit being signed into law the same day. I think that that is how strongly the Republicans feel about energy security. If we don't, and we have to wait a little bit longer until we have Pierre Poilievre in Ottawa, then maybe we shift gears and start looking at Northern Gateway, especially if we end up with a BC premier who also wears the Conservative team jersey. So I think we have two incredible opportunities ahead of us. That being said, we have a very good relationship with the current U.S. Ambassador to Canada, David Cohen. He came out for an event that we had during Stampede on transportation corridors, and he can talk about the stats of Canadian oil and gas better than anyone that I've met in America. He knows how reliant and how reliable we are as a trading partner. That said, I think we'll probably end up having more of a natural gas discussion with America if it's a Democrat in the White House, because I look at natural gas not just as a transition fuel, but as a destination fuel. If you build out the infrastructure for natural gas, that helps you build out the infrastructure for perhaps a future ammonia economy or methanol economy or hydrogen economy. There is no reason in the world that we would stop on the development of natural gas. And so, especially if you pair it with carbon capture, as we're seeing increasingly. So I think we have two different conversations depending on who's in the White House. But that being said, we are very good friends with America. We've had 4 years of Democrats in the White House, and our amount of bilateral trade has gone up. We have $184 billion worth of trade that goes between Alberta and American states. And I don't think that's going to change. I think it's only going to grow. We just have to make a slightly different argument when we're dealing with the Democrats, Republicans. With Republicans, you lead with energy security. With Dems, you lead with energy affordability. But in either case, we've got such a great story to tell.